No, it's too long.
Okay, I'll finish this up. There was just some like random examples in here. But though animal ghosts have been witnessed, what is interesting is how they often continue in some form of a routine. For example, ghosts of horses have been seen throwing their riders. Some animal ghosts have been seen reliving tragedies, and most likely tied to their deaths. Shadowy images of animals crossing roads have been seen at night.
Like that goddamn headless horseman around this area.
Yeah, that's true. Now, a buddy of mine told me a story. Him and another buddy of mine and a few other friends were riding. They were coming back from somewhere. And they decided to go like the back ways to the country roads as opposed to freeways. And they said that they literally thought that they were about to hit like a German Shepherd. They said this dog ran out right in front of them plain as day. And there was no time to even attempt to hit your brakes. But they didn't hit anything. So, it was
a dog that big, you're not gonna like.
And they said literally, we should have hit it. There was no way that it moved fast enough to get past the car. So, who knows? Let's see. Shadowy images of animals crossing roads have been seen at night, and ghost cats have been heard purring and sleeping on beds, leaving their impression on the bed covers. So, there's that. Alright, now did you have something else?
Let's see. This is like a two-part thing. I really didn't have anything today.
I had a couple things as per related to Christmas, but since it's past Christmas, I don't think it should be warranted until next Christmas.
Well, it's not that far past Christmas.
No, it's far enough for me.
You gonna talk about the Krampus?
Well, I had a couple things on. It went through Krampus and a few other weird things about Christmas.
It was like Black Peter. What was that the? Wee Bart
Schwartz something.
Schwartz
Yeah.
Peter.
Schwartz Piet.
No, remember
like
Black
that.
Peter?
Yeah, I know. That's how they said it in the weird language.
Like Schmecks. Schminette.
Let's see. I don't know if I want to do that one either. Yeah, I can do that one. Do you want me to do another one while you try to find them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the Science Explorer. How do Ouija boards really work? Oh, I almost bought one today, but Mara slapped me.
Where'd you sign this stuff out? I'll find that out. Where'd you see that at?
At a store in the Beaver Creek.
Was it one of the...
in the mall?
The little children's purple and pink ones?
No.
Have you seen those?
Weird looking one. Yeah. Like, why would you advertise that like that for kids to do things?
Like baby's first Ouija board.
Yeah. Let's see. The science behind them is even creepier than you'd think. And this is coming from a science website, the Science Explorer. Okay. It's the spookiest month of the year, which is October of this year. So it's time to break out the Ouija boards and channel some dead spirits to answer your most burning questions. So you can tell, with this being from October 15th or October 9th of this year, I had saved some things over the last few months. As if communicating with ghosts isn't creepy enough, you'll probably get even more freaked out when you realize all of the answers are coming from within you. To use a Ouija board, someone first asks the spirits a question and then places their fingers on the pointer, called a planchette. Then the spirits supposedly guide their hands across the Ouija board, leading to the letters or numbers that spell out the answer. Serious Ouija boarders usually switch off all electronics so they don't disturb the supernatural signal.
Ouija boarders.
And they light candles and incense to create a spiritual aura. While some people are painstakingly sure that a supernatural entity compelled their answers, others say ghosts don't exist and the whole thing's a hoax. Which we've gotten so many people to come forward and they're just like, bash, 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 bash. Well, we do what we do, you continue to do what you do, kind of a thing.
At this point I can give two shits less about what anybody thinks.
Luckily, science has an explanation for the mysterious workings of the Ouija board, and while it doesn't involve ghosts and spirits, it's just as bizarre. It turns out what causes the Ouija board to move is all inside our minds. The phenomenon, called the ideomotor effect, which I think I've heard that before, occurs when someone moves themselves or an object without being consciously aware of it. This psychological effect, along with a strong subconscious desire to find an answer for your question, causes players to move the planchette across the boards themselves, but they have no knowledge that they're in fact physically moving it. But it gets stranger. In a 2012 study at the University of British Columbia, researchers explored the ideomotor effect by asking subjects factual yes or no questions, first verbally and then with a Ouija board. For the Ouija board questions, the subjects were blindfolded and told that a partner would be moving the planchette with them, but the partner quickly removed their hands once the experiment started. When the participants weren't sure about the answer to a question, they only answered it correctly 50% of the time when asked verbally. But intriguingly, when they responded with the help of the Ouija board, their answers increased to a 65% accuracy rate. Yeah. Using something as mysterious as a Ouija board might help us tap into our second intelligence, according to the study. Basically, if someone asked you who the president was in 1982, you might have no idea off the top of your head, but your subconscious mind might be able to recall that information from when you heard it years ago in a high school history lesson.
Nah. I don't. No. No.
You might be disappointed if you were hoping this article would confirm the existence of ghosts and supernatural spirits, but the fact that Ouija boards are essentially a psychological experiment that taps into our subconscious minds is still pretty mind-bending.
I can't see that. I can't see just, putting your hand on a piece of plastic, unlocking, some hidden info that...
Yeah. And with everything, I still refuse to have anything to do with Ouija boards. I don't care if it's real or not. It's just been one of those things ingrained into me for so long that I'm not even going to risk it. Kind of a deal.
Well, you know me, I like to do stuff because people tell me not to, so...
Yeah.
I'm probably going to end up, waking up one morning on my ceiling, getting drug across the ceiling, you shouldn't have touched my Ouija board.
Yeah, but that's all I got there. What was this one? I didn't need that one either. I don't need that one. And then that's to conspiracy theories from here. So do you have anything else?
Conspiracy theories. Name some.
This is your thing.
Does it have to be paranormal?
I don't know that many of mine are paranormal.
What about the biggest one that intrigues me is that Paul McCartney's dead.
Yeah, I read a couple things about that.
A lot of it, I don't want to believe it. I don't think it's true. I mean, but there's that chance that it is. Supposedly back in 1960, whatever, John Lennon and Paul McCartney got into this big argument during rehearsal. Well, Paul McCartney stormed out and wrecked his little white sports car, and it supposedly took his head off. I guess when he left, he picked up this girl, and she realized who he was, and she went all crazy trying to touch him and stuff, and that's how they wrecked. And supposedly there was this big, which this actually happened, there was this big Paul McCartney lookalike thing, and this guy named Charles, I can't remember his name, but he actually won it. He looked a lot like Paul McCartney, and then nobody ever heard anything about that contest, and supposedly he's the guy that took over for Paul McCartney because MI5 supposedly told John Lennon, Ringo and George that, hey, if people know that Paul's dead, all these girls are going to commit suicide because they're crazy about the Beatles, and you guys are going to continue on, you're going to make music with this new guy.
Yeah, but it's not enough to just look like a guy. You have to legit.
Well, he got government training, probably a vocal scrape and whatever they do in there, hi, me, bugger. But if you watch Paul McCartney Really Is Dead, it's a documentary. It's supposedly George Harrison sent this guy recordings on, as George Harrison was dying, of the truth. And a lot of it lines up, a lot of it doesn't. whatever. I don't care. If the Paul McCartney we got now is a fake Paul McCartney, he's still pretty damn good. So whatever. But the moon landing. That's like probably the biggest conspiracy theory of all time, that it was faked. That and the second gunman on the grassy knoll.
Yeah. There's all kinds of
moon landing. What do you think?
In my opinion,
you think Stanley Kubrick actually? Because they're saying like it was Kubrick that faked that shit. That's why he puts all the imagery, like in The Shining, he had Danny Torrance wearing the Apollo shirt, and there's all kinds of space.
Well, I think that we had the technology to be able to do it. I mean, we did send guys up to orbit the planet, and they came back. So who's to say we didn't go to the moon? And watching an episode of Mythbusters, they pretty well like all the stuff that they tested that people were freaking out about.
Yeah,
it's like this could have happened. So there's.
My only thing is, if it did happen, the reason it probably happened was we wanted to be first. So why not fake it? If you can't get up there, fake it that way.
But if that was the case, still, what's to say everyone else who's done anything in space is.
Even if the space station's not even really up there.
Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, I don't care.
I assume we wouldn't be able to see it through our telescopes and things, and like when it passes by, we wouldn't be able to see it or whatever else. But
I mean, it's not going to break my heart if it was fake. I mean,
it was neat.
I would like to go to space. I think it'd be cool as hell. But
when they colonize Mars, I might put my name on there. See if I can go up there.
I would rather colonize Uranus.
That's so weird. The first one on this 15 of the internet's craziest conspiracy theories is that the Beatles never existed. Number one was.
What?
Yeah.
Read me on that, please. I don't understand what you're
forget the old chestnut that Paul is dead. That's amateur hour stuff. How about this one? From the moment they began, the Beatles were a fake band staffed by a revolving cast of almost identical actors. The Buggers. Luckily, one website has set out to shine light on the physical discrepancies between each stand-in member. If you often find yourself reading sentences like, "It's interesting to note that there were different shapes, sizes, and styles of eyebrows over the years." Yeah, it was something weird. Number 2, President Obama can control the weather. And I'm not going to go into all these because I think the titles can speak for themselves.
Well,
if you really want to find out, you can Google it.
I think that has to do with HAARP.
Yeah, probably. Let's see, number 3. The Earth is still flat.
God damn it! No, there's actually people.
The Flat Earth Society was established in the early 1800s by the English inventor Samuel Burley. Robotham, and remains at the very forefront of 11th century thinking.
Both them nuts.
Zetetic astronomy, as the society prefers to call it, has had to explain away many threats to its principles over the years. Things like manned missions to the moon, satellites, photographs of the round Earth from space, and 3 series of Professor Brian Cox's inspirational TV shows. Still, they've got 1,800 likes on Facebook, which isn't bad going, assuming the internet exists, of course. That's what that says. Let's see, number 4. Saddam Hussein had a Stargate.
What?
Yeah. And number 5, Saved by the Bell was a vehicle for the Illuminati. Yeah. And this is from shortlist.com, so you can look it up and read all about it and go further into it. Hitler is still alive to this day.
I actually watched something on that.
I saw something.
I don't think he's alive to this day, but I mean, supposedly he died in the 60s in Argentina.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's see. What would I say? Other theories say he died in 1984 in Brazil, aged 94, or in Argentina, aged 73. So I guess I don't know. The Earth is hollow. What is that? Is that a train?
Yeah.
Okay. Good Lord, these